You have to pick a lane, commercial or theatrical. You can't do both, not if you want to be taken seriously. Really? And we believe that. Okay, I'll tell you up front where I land because I'm living proof of the opposite. I work both commercial and theatrical, always have. And nobody's ever taken me less seriously for it. But you've heard this one, right? Maybe from a coach, maybe from a casting workshop, maybe just from the background hum of this industry telling you to specialize or disappear. And it sounds reasonable. It even sounds protective, like somebody's saving you from yourself. So let me ask the uncomfortable question. What if the choice itself is the thing costing you the career? Well, let's take it apart. Casting directors aren't asking you to pick a lane. A lot of them expect you to not pick a lane, and here's what most actors get backwards. Showing up with both commercial and theatrical work doesn't read as scattered, it reads as range. Limiting yourself to one market style doesn't signal focus or seriousness. It signals, this is all I've got. The pick a lane rule did not come out of a casting office. It came out of coaching circles. And somewhere along the way, we mistook the coaching advice for the industry's actual verdict. Those are not the same thing. One is somebody selling you a class. The other is somebody hiring actors. The folks getting seen across the most doors are the ones who show up with a full portfolio. Commercial work, theatrical work, both sets of headshots, a submission history in both. That's what range looks like on paper before anyone even met you. But there's a second reason actors get boxed in before they ever submit a thing, and it's got nothing to do with casting. It's the tools we use to get there. Actors Access and casting networks are submission tools. They are not telling you who to be as a performer. Yeah, the guides will tell you if you're chasing film and TV, lean on Actors Access. If your focus is commercials, casting networks. And that's accurate. I mean, as far as it goes, that's filing. That's just routing your tape to the right inbox. But actors read that as an identity, as a verdict on their ceiling. The platform sends your tape to the right desk. It does not decide what you're capable of. Mistaking the filing system for the philosophy is how an actor narrows themselves before they've booked a single job. The trap is you stop submitting to one whole market. Not because casting said so, because a platform guide implied you should focus. And you heard, you don't belong over there. That's a silo, and you built it yourself. Now, even if you see through the tool confusion, there's still a craft argument sitting in the room, the one that says the skills themselves don't mix. Let's look at that, because that's the one with some truth in it. Commercial and theatrical do ask for different calibrations, but different calibrations is not the same thing as incompatible skills. And this is the part I want to be honest about, because there's a real thing here where actors genuinely trip is when they drag theatrical technique into a commercial room or bring slick commercial energy into a dramatic audition. That's a real problem, and I've seen it. I've probably done it, but the fix isn't to specialize. The fix is to learn how to read the room and shift register to feel what the material is asking for, and then match it. That ability to switch, that is not a compromise. That's a higher level skill, and it makes you sharper on both sides. I'll tell you what I've found doing both. The discipline of a commercial read, precise, warm, immediate, no fat on it. It made me a tighter script reader on the theatrical side. And the emotional depth I built in dramatic work made my commercial reads feel like something instead of just a pitch. They feed each other. The minute you stop treating them as enemies, they start training each other. So what keeps actors from seeing that? I mean, it's something older and harder to shake. It's the status story we tell ourselves about what commercial work means. For a serious artist, commercial work being beneath a serious actor. That isn't an artistic position, it's a financial strategy, and it's a bad one. Well, let me give you the truth. Nobody likes to say this out loud. Only about 1 in 8 SAG-AFTRA members earns enough in a year to even qualify for the union's health insurance. 1 in 8. That's not pessimism. That's the water we swim in. In that world, a single commercial can keep paying you long after the shoot wraps. The shoot's a day, maybe two, and then you're free to keep chasing everything else you actually want. That's not selling out, that's runway. The actors who turn that work down on principle are very often the ones who struggled the hardest because the status math doesn't add up. You're not protecting your dramatic credibility by going broke. You're killing the financial runway that lets you say yes to the smaller theatrical job, the one that actually builds the career you want. Status doesn't pay the rent. Status doesn't put food on the table. The prestige argument is expensive. And here's the kicker. The market itself has something to say about it because the commercial landscape right now looks nothing like what most actors assume. The commercial market isn't shrinking into streaming. It's growing inside it. Think about your own TV. Every streamer you've got is rolling out an ad-supported tier. Why? Because subscriber growth slows down eventually, and ads are how they make the next dollar. And it's working. In 2026, total ad spending is set to cross $1 trillion for the first time in history. So the very ecosystem actors think is killing commercial work, it's the engine pulling commercial demand forward. All those ad tiers need ads. Ads need actors. Streaming and connected TV advertising is one of the fastest growing corners of the whole business right now, climbing around 14% a year. The market a lot of people are abandoning for theatrical reasons is one of the ones growing fastest. So the safe long-term bet is not the one that pretends commercial is dying. Theatrical matters deeply. I'm not saying otherwise. I live on that side too, but I'll be honest with you. I love the commercial side, and not for noble artistic reasons. It's quick, a day, maybe two, and you're done. And the residuals come faster every 13 weeks as long as the spot keeps running. Theatrical is the slow burn. Commercial is the work that pays you while you wait. So pulling out of commercials because you think streaming killed it, well, that's reading the landscape exactly backwards. You're walking away from the growth. And if you're in your 40s or 50s thinking commercial casting isn't even casting your type anymore, I need you to hear this last piece because it's the most concrete argument in the room, and it's the one that's about your wallet 10 years from now. If you're in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, commercial casting is actively looking for your type. Think about who advertisers are selling to. The people with the money, the people buying the cars, the medications, the cruises, the retirement plans. They are not all 25. Advertisers need faces that look like their actual customers. So that's you. That demand is real and it isn't going anywhere. And here's the part that matters when you can see the finish line from where you're standing. Union commercial work builds your pension and your health benefits. And just this year, the new commercials contract bumped that pension and health contribution from 20.5% up to 23.5%. Real money going into your future on every union spot you book. So if you're active in both commercial and theatrical at the same time, you're not splitting your focus. You're building toward retirement from two directions at once. The actors who opted out of commercial work in their 40s because it felt like a step down, a lot of them are looking back now at gaps that did not have to be there. The market wanted them. The work would have paid them. The binary talked them out of it. So let's stack it up. Casting wants to see both in your portfolio. That is not an assumption. That's how the people who hire actually think. The platforms that seem to force a choice are filing systems, not verdicts. The craft difference between commercial and theatrical is real, but it's a calibration skill, and building it makes you better in both rooms. Commercial income is the engine that funds theatrical ambition. The people who refuse it on principle are the ones who paid for it. The commercial market isn't retreating from streaming, it's growing inside it. And if you're in your 40s, 50s, or beyond, the work is specifically there for you, and it builds your future while you do it. Your career is a portfolio, not a lane. The actors still working are the ones who let commercial income fund theatrical ambition. Let each side sharpen the skills the other one demands, and let the work, not some old coaching binary, decide where they show up next. Stop splitting yourself in half. Start letting the market tell you where the work is. Hey, you want Start Where You Are for free? The link's in the description. New myths every week. See you in the next one.